Please take out your Lent book and a pencil. You can open to page 40. This is the fourth Friday of Lent, so we're caught up now. Although next week you guys have spring break, so I'm not going to be posting any assignments, so we're going to fall a little bit behind. But if we do a couple pages each day, we'll catch back up. So we're going to do 40 and 41 today. So 40, this would be the fourth Friday of Lent, which is today, and this would be tomorrow. So we're going to do 2 pages today. So on page 40, I'm at the top. I'm going to read this to you. It says, he, now when they say he, they're talking about Jesus, did not wish to go about in Judea because the Jews were looking for an opportunity to kill him. Follow along then as I read this box in purple. So remember, you should have your book out in front of you. Follow along when I'm reading. It says, very important. The Jews means some of the Jewish leaders. It does not mean all Jews. Jesus himself was a Jew, and so were nearly all friends and all his friends and followers. During the next 2 weeks of Lent, you will be hearing more about the Jews who wanted to kill Jesus. And we've talked about this a little bit. I'm going to stop there for a minute. We talked about this a little bit when there was a video that we watched about, and it's related to the Stations of the Cross, and that's what they're talking about here. In today's gospel, they tried to arrest Jesus, but no one laid hands on him because his hour had not yet come, which was 7:30. His hour means the hour of Jesus' death on the cross. He knew it was coming, but he knew it would come only in God's good time. Then what you're going to do, so the activity below says, there is a right time for everything. On these clock faces, draw hands that show the right time for you to do each thing on any given Friday. And then it gives you 8 different clocks with things that are below it. So you have to think, like, what time do you usually do those things on a Friday? So think about, like, if we're at school, what time would that be? Remember, the shorthand is the hour hand, and the long hand is the minute hand. So wake up. I'm going to do the first example with you. So wake up. Let's say that you wake up at 6 o'clock. So let me do it first. So I'm going to point the shorthand on the 6 like this. I hope you can see, and it's not too blurry because it's a little bit blurry for me. And then you're going to have the long hand be on the 12. So let's say that you wake up at 6 a.m. for school. So that's kind of what it would look like there. And then what time would you eat breakfast? What time do you get to school? What time do you eat lunch? We could do this one together too. We usually eat lunch at about 11:20. So the shorthand would be on the 11, like this, like my example here. And the long hand, the minute hand, oops, I just made a mistake. I made it on the 12. But it would be, if it's 11:20, it would be on the 4. So I didn't have any eraser, but this would be 11:20. So then I want you to go through and I want you to do all of those. And then in the email, you can just tell me what time you put for each one. Or you can have your parents take a picture of it, of course, too. Now let's take a look at this page. So this is the 4th Saturday of Lent, which would be tomorrow. Today's gospel at the top says, after Jesus preached one day, some in the crowd said, this is the Messiah. But some said, surely the Messiah does not come from Galilee, does he? Pay attention, follow along while I read this in purple. And then you'll have to do an activity on the bottom. The land where Jesus lived was called Palestine. In the north, it was called Galilee. And in the south, it was called Judea. Nazareth was in Galilee, and Jerusalem in Judea. Some of Jesus' biggest enemies lived in Jerusalem, and they had closed their minds against him. They believed, so these are 3 things that the people in that city believed. Number 1, Galilee was a rough, wild place. 2, the people of Galilee did not properly understand God's law. Number 3, no great teacher or prophet would ever come from Galilee. As a result, when God's own Son came to them, they had no idea who he was. Their bad example teaches us something. It teaches us to have open minds towards all people, no matter where they come from. Now, this is the activity that you're going to do. This is a little bit tricky. So it shows pictures of 5 different people and just the different ways they look because of their culture, because of their background. And in the directions, I'm going to read this right here. The directions say, from these drawings, can you tell in what country each boy or girl probably lives? Put the name of the country under each figure. Choose from, now at the bottom, they give you different choices. So I'm looking way down here. It says choose from France, South Africa, China, Mexico, or Israel. So you're looking at the different cultures of these 5 kids, and you're going to write what country you think they're from. So what I'm going to have you do, if you plan on sending this to me in an email and not taking a picture of it, I want you to number them so that when you send them to me, I know which one is which. So I'm going to do it for you quick here. So the first, I just did 1 through 3 to start off with. So this is number 1, so you can put a 1 there. This one's going to be 2, 3, and then on the bottom, 4, and 5, like that. That way, when you see my email and I have it numbered for page 41 and it just says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to write one of those countries. So France, South Africa, China, Mexico, and Israel. Some of them you might be able to tell right away. Others are a little bit tricky. If you don't know, you could always go to Google. You can always look things up on the computer. And you can type in one of those countries, and then it kind of might give you a clue of what people in that country generally look like. So that might help you out with that. And then when you're done with this, you can send it to me. Thank you.